Yeah. Can anybody tell what is cash management? What is the purpose of cash management module?
It's basically for reconciliation, sir.
Right. Bank reconciliation, right?
Yes, yes.
Any other purpose? Cash positioning or cash forecasting, right?
Yes.
It is maybe for the
Maintain the
budgeting, it
all
can be
cash
used.
flows.
Yeah, because through cash management, we are able to see outflow and inflow of cash, right? In the bank, how much cash we have, bank balance, and that's why we are able to see the current cash position as well as forecast. Forecast means how much in future, in next quarter or next 1 month, we are going to pay or we are going to receive. That also you can manage with cash management, cash forecasting and cash positioning. So bank reconciliation is the main purpose, and in addition to that, we are doing the cash positioning, cash forecasting, and other thing is that we can also do the bank transfer, right? We can do the bank transfer through cash management. We have multiple banks we want to transfer from one bank to another bank. That also we can do. Mainly these three purposes. Here I can show you what are the setup required. Let me add one column here. See it here. Purpose is cash bank reconciliation. And we have cash forecasting. Cash positioning. We have different setups available. How we can do the cash positioning. Let me show you this picture. These are the setups actually. Stable index, not this one. Bank statement and transaction code. So what is bank statement and transaction code? So, you know, every bank has some transaction codes, means what kind of transaction it is. In cash management, we have already seeded transaction codes. And if any bank, they realize that we have transaction codes not available in the seeded cash management list, then we can define new. So this transaction code will be required to map the transaction or inbound transactions or inbound bank statement coming from bank. Okay. If I go to transaction, let me show you. Like what nature of transactions? Like it's a debit transactions, money is coming or money is going. It can be bank charges, bank fee. It's a customer receipt. It's a supplier payment. So different transaction code we have in Oracle Fusion. So page matrix. I can show you. Setup and maintenance. financial, cash management. Bank statement and transaction code. If I open it, you are able to see the transaction code. So you can define new transaction code, or you can use the seeded one also. You can see 00 KRD, someone defined electronic data interchange, regular payments, payment cash, credit. So some are user defined and some are created, is just seeded values available here. Check paid. If you are paying in check, what is the transaction code? Because this transaction code is required for your mapping. Any statement is coming, so this will come with this transaction code. So what is the flow actually? Let me tell you what is the exact flow you are doing. Here, we created receipt. Okay. In AR, we create a customer payment, right? In AP, supplier payment. So here it's a one is debit transaction and one is credit transaction. So if you are enabling cash management, then this AP and AR transactions will be visible in cash management. And then statement will come, bank statement. Once you make the payment, there are two ways. Either you can upload the bank statement manually through spreadsheet. We have in Oracle Fusion, in EBS it is not there. In Fusion, we have ADFDI template available to upload the bank statement. You can do like that, or you can do automatic transmission. For that, we need to configure everything so that it is a bank statement interface. You have to integrate your bank account. In that case, the bank, there are some certain format, bank statement format, SWIFT format, NH format. So there are 3-4 seeded format. You can choose any format, and accordingly, bank statement will be imported to cash management. Once it is imported, there are another option. Either you can do auto reconciliation or manual reconciliation. Okay. So any customer payment or supplier payment, the respective transaction will be available in bank statement. Okay. So how you will match then? How will you match? If you are doing auto reconciliation, we have to create some rules, because on what basis the bank will match the inbound and outbound transaction will match. These are system transactions, right? This customer payment and supplier payment. These are system transactions, and this bank statement is coming from bank account. So if it is someone is paid, customer has paid 1,000, in bank statement it should available completely. It should available, right? What are that? Yes. Bank statement also it should be 1,000. So you have to create some matching rule, auto reconciliation match set, or tolerance rule set. There are certain rule set we have to define, so that based on that rule set, the auto reconciliation process will find out the transactions, system transactions. In that matching rule set, we'll find out, like, if the amount is matching, then match that to transaction, because there are thousands of transactions real time. If you see day-to-day basis, you will get like thousands of transactions, and it's very difficult to match manually. So in that case, to automate that complete reconciliation process, You can create auto match rule set, auto reconciliation rule set. Let me show you how we are doing that. So this transaction code, it's how we can define, right? Because each transaction in the bank statement belongs to one particular code, transaction code. Then all tax. Bank statement transaction code, it's done. Reconciliation set, right? Bank statement reconciliation tolerance set, reconciliation matching rule, and reconciliation rule set. So this reconciliation rule set, combination of which matching rules and tolerance. Okay. First, you have to define first two rule. Then you can combine this to the reconciliation rule set. So cash transaction type mapping, that will also, it's not used, but I'll show you. So what is tolerance rule set? Let me go to tolerance rule set. Okay. Tolerance rule set means how much, to what extent you can tolerate the differences. Okay. For example, amount tolerance. There are percentage amount tolerance or date tolerance. There are two attributes here. Amount tolerance and date tolerance. For example, you have paid something around in different currency, right? 1,000 you have paid, the supplier has paid, and it's after conversion, it's bit some percentage differences you are getting. When the bank statement it is appearing 1,000 dot 0.5 like that. So there can be amount difference, minuscule amount difference. So how much difference you can tolerate in the matching rule, in the reconciliation process, that you have to mention here. You can mention also zero tolerance, like even if it is point something, it is mismatching, it will fail the matching. 100% exact match should be there. That also you can define, or how much you can tolerate, how much amount difference you can tolerate. And date tolerance means, for example, supplier, we have paid the supplier today. So it should appear in the bank statement in next 4 days. It should not be like if after 2 months it is showing in the statement, means it's not a that particular transaction. If I am paying today, I am depositing the check today, that means I am expecting that it should appear in the bank statement in the next 2 days or 4 days. So day before and day after. So that tolerance you can set up here. For example, 1,000, there can be multiple 1,000 transactions for the same supplier, right? So which transaction we are matching with what bank statement figure, right? So in that case, yeah, I have paid that check today. So it should be like 13th or 15th transaction with 1,000. So that should match to this transaction. So date tolerance you can give here. If it is more than exceeding 4 days, that means it's not the same transaction. It can be other transaction. So in that way, you can enable the percentage amount tolerance or amount tolerance in a figure. So here you can attach the bank statement, bank account. So when you are doing creating the bank account, there is a control box is there, right? Control tab, bank account control. In that control, you are attaching your tolerance rule set. If you know, when you are defining bank account, you will see. So if I go to bank account, let me show. cash management, bank account. Okay. If I'll open the bank account, I query any bank account like Epic, I have it. If you go to control section, you can see here reconciliation tolerant rule, automatic reconciliation rule sheet. Okay. So all these rules you can attach here. Auto reconciliation rule sheet and reconciliation rule. Close it. So this is what this is a real-time example how this is manual tolerance rule. So days before is 1, days after is 1, amount below 1. So anything below, if the difference is below 1, we will tolerate. Okay. Above means we cannot tolerate. Okay. Suppose 1000 it is there, the original figure, and it is, we are in the bank statement, it is 99 or 99.9. Then we can accept that and reconcile. If it is above that tolerance, then we cannot accept. Okay. If it is 95 or 94, okay, we cannot accept because only 1 rupee we can tolerate. Similarly, reconciliation matching rule. We'll go to that section. Okay. Reconciliation matching rule. If you or that reconciliation matching rule, let me open any one of the reconciliation matching rules. You can see here. So in this reconciliation matching rule, what they are telling, transaction source, it can be from payable module, from receivable module, payroll module. Externally, if you are entering your journal. Okay. And matching type 1-to-1. Okay. 1-to-1 means every line of bank statement should be matched, exactly matched to each line of the payment or receipt transaction coming from this source. So 1-to-1 matching, right? Matching criteria, date, amount, and transaction type. Okay. Transaction type means whether it's a customer receipt or it's a supplier payment. Okay. Based on that, based on this matching criteria, date criteria, amount criteria, and transaction type criteria, it will auto reconcile or auto match the bank statement line to the system line. You can define that. There are others also, 1-to-many, 1-to-many-to-1, many-to-many, and 0 amount. So mostly you use the 1-to-1 transactions. 1-to-many means if you convert it to like 1-to-many matching types, you can see here how you are doing the 1-to-many transactions. You will get additional attributes, grouping attributes to match. Okay. Transaction type, transaction source. So when you are doing the 1-to-many, you can mention here the additional grouping attributes, payment method. For example, if the payment method is check, and the check, one check transactions in batch, in the one batch. Suppose we have check transaction batch, we have sent to the transmitted to the bank. And based on that, how it is grouping that transactions in how many lines it is creating in the bank statements. So that you can match here. If you are set up like that, like you are sending the payment through bank, check payment and batch payment you are doing. In this case, you can do the one-to-many transactions. Many-to-one means you have sent many payments and like multiple payments you have sent and transmitted to the bank, and it is creating one payment line in the bank statement. For example, in bank statement, it is appearing 1 lakh, but you have sent 10 transaction of 10,000 to the bank. In that case, you can match like that, that 1 lakh transaction in the bank statement, 10 bank like line, system transaction line you have to match. In that case. So here also matching criteria, you can mention amount, reconciliation reference, date, like that. Table reference. So for each, I have created like 2-3 bank statement lines, reconciliation, one-to-one, one-to-many, one-to-one. So you can define multiple reconciliation rule set based on your business requirement and attached to different bank account. Okay. As per the banking requirement, because every bank can have different requirement or every business. So once you create the rule, you can assign it to the bank account. So after creating these 2 rules, what you can do, then you can create a last rule. Last rule means rule set. That is called bank statement reconciliation rule set. Here we have to attach the rules you have created. Okay. So matching rule. What is the matching rule you have created? That you have to attach. Okay. What is the matching rules and tolerance rule you created? You can attach here in the reconciliation rule set. And that reconciliation rule set you can assign to your bank account. So based on that rule set, once you run the auto reconciliation program, automatically the transaction will be matched to the bank statement. Any questions till now?
No, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I want to ask another question. Suppose our system transaction, like receipt, customer payment, supplier payment, that's fine. It will coming from bank statement. For example, any charges like bank fee, interest amount, penalty amounts, how you will match them, reconcile them? Can you tell me? How can I do that? Any idea? You understand what I am asking, right? Customer supplier, that is, we know it's coming from system. But bank statement itself, we have additional lines like bank charges, interest, bank fee, penalty. How can we match them, reconcile them? Because in system, this transaction line are not there, right? They are external transactions. PK?
Yeah, for such external transactions, it may be income or expenses. So accordingly, we'll create a separate one. For example, for the interest received, bank charges. So like that, we will create it and we'll map it. We'll track there.
Where? How will you reconcile? Because in system, these transactions are not available, right? Bank fee, your annual maintenance charges, your card charges. We have lot of charges bank is imposing, but these are not regular transaction available in the systems. How can you reconcile? Because this will remain in unreconciled, right? How can reconcile?
Right. So we can create a such transaction first. For example, bank charges. Then respective account will be charged, and then we can reconcile with the same by mapping the with the bank statement.
Where,
And
where,
in our
where will
system,
it?
it will be a account only, no? Natural account.
No, where will create that transaction?
Based upon the nature of, if it is a expenses, then we will create in a AP.
The what supplier you will take? It is not supplier related or
Yes.
customer related, right?
Right.
So if you create any AP invoice, how can you create that? Because there is no supplier or customer related, right?
Right.
Then, so here coming into picture, external transaction. So that whatever you said, like this transaction we can create line, we can create in cash management itself without supplier or customer. There is options available. We don't need to like go to AP and AR and create. Okay. If you go to system, external transaction, cash management, here you will get one setup called external something. External. Not this one. Here you do the transaction type mapping. Okay, receipt and disbursement. And each transaction you can map here. It's a fee or a bank charges, or it's a interest debit or interest credit. It's a lockbox transaction or miscellaneous transactions. So transaction type mapping you can do here. And what is the method? Method can be check or it's domestic check or electronic. So transaction type mapping you can do here. here there should be some external transaction. I have done it. I'm not sure why I'm not getting in that here. In that case, you can mention in that external transaction rule sheet, you can mention like these are coming from external transaction and not available in the system. Automatically, system transaction will be created in the cash management itself. Then you can match them. I'll show you that actually in this instance, it is not getting. That's a new feature actually. I'll show you. Bank statement and reconciliation. If you click on this, you will see all the, create external transaction in spreadsheet. That also you can do. Directly what you can do, if you click on this, it will create a Excel spreadsheet, Excel template. So whatever external transaction in the bank statement, like bank fee and interest rate, you can directly upload here and it will create system transactions in cash management. Then you can reconcile them. And if you want to manually reconcile and manually create the bank statement, that also you can do. You can go and create bank statement manually. For example, I want to create one bank statement. Just closing available or not, that's fine. This is my balance. So how much balance it is? It's 00 currently. In the statement line, you can create what is the period start date. For example, I want to create for February 1 to period ended February 28. Okay. Statement ID, bank statement ID, SBI 001. If I go to statement lines, I have to select suppose bank account also, right? And then you can create statement lines. Because every month or every weekly you are getting statement, right, from bank. So in this way you can create manually. So what is the statement lines and what is the transaction code I mentioned? Like for example, suppose it's a electronic fund transfer. Click on this. It's a debit or credit transaction. For example, we credited, money is coming, right? 1,000. On which date money came? 1st February or 2nd February we got that money. Okay. So it created a statement line. It's a credit line we created. Similarly, bank statement will be visible like this. Once you upload also, this is one way of creating bank statement. Another way is you can do it through spreadsheet. So Oracle has provided create bank statement in spreadsheet. If you open it, ADFDI template will be available. Okay. One for external transaction and one for bank statements. So once you open it, just simply you can create your bank statement through spreadsheet template and upload. and it will be available here. Very simple. So in that way, you can either auto reconcile or manually reconcile. So if you want to manually reconcile, you can click on manual reconciliation. You can see the left hand side, it is system transaction, and right hand side, you are getting bank statement lines. You search for the particular bank account, and all the lines will be appear here. And you can reconcile. You have to just click on checkbox, reconcile checkbox, and it will be reconciled. You can see the status here. What are the unreconciled? What is reconciled? That you can do.